What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Devin the Bear. Today we have a very special guest with us today. Let's see, undefeated pro boxer and a good friend of ours, Carlos Nava. So thanks for coming on with us, man. Taking some time out of your day to come and join us.
What's up, man? What's up, y'all?
How you been?
I've been great. Just, training, trying to elevate.
Kicking ass and taking names.
You know how it is.
Yeah. I actually don't. So, shit. So, what's up, man? So, I heard you got some big news you want to talk about.
Yeah, just, I'm going for that 3-0 already. It's been, 3 months since I've been here? Just have my foot on the gas and just going full blast. Trying to make it to the top. Trying to be where I want to be.
We had talked a little bit about your last fight, but why don't you give it to us from your perspective? What was the deal there?
All right, well, I had 3 opponents that backed out last minute. Well, I had one that was in the making for the whole camp, and he ended up backing out. He heard about my name and seen my first highlights, and he didn't want nothing to do with me. So,
I want that
second,
smoke.
Yeah, and then third, and then finally Guido came up, and he had 8 wins and 16 losses. In 20 fights. Experience. And we were like, damn, that's a big step up for a second fight, but I was gonna take it. At 140, and I was up for that step up. I mean, I was giving him the experience, the age, so I was gonna be the underdog in this. Not only that, but we had agreed on contract for 140, and a couple days out, 3 or 4 days out, when he got down in Texas from Florida, he was like, he wants to do a catchweight 143, and I was like, I was already at 143 by then, and I was like, you know what, all right, I don't gotta dehydrate, so let's do it then. And so I gave him that weight catch, and so I gave him all three things to give his way. And so coming up to the fight, I was confident, but I was a little nervous, damn, it's a big step up for me, and I wanted to knock him out, but I know it was gonna be hard to, and so I just outboxed him, just dominated. If it would have went 6 rounds, I'm pretty sure I would have took him out.
Yeah, what we saw a lot of was he was kind of taunting you, trying to get you to charge in, and he was just kind of sitting back. I don't know if he was trying to counter strike or what, but he was just sitting back getting popped in the face.
Yeah, he was taunting a lot. He was low key getting in my head, but I stayed
you stay composed for sure.
Composed and relaxed. He was pissing me off, but I was just I was already winning the fight. I was like, man, just do your thing. I'm just gonna keep outboxing you.
Yeah,
that's a championship mindset too. We were just talking about George St. Pierre. A lot of the guys he fought always tried to piss him off and get under his skin, and none of them ever did. And that's one of the reasons that he was so successful. And that's why he'll always be the greatest welterweight of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so we haven't really got to talk with you too much about since your first fight that you had back in May. It was May, right?
Yeah.
And so, coming into that, because you have plenty of experience in the amateurs, and so now you're making your pro debut. And watching you walk in, it was so what was that feeling like? You looked excited, you looked happy to be there, and stuff. So, what was kind of your mindset going into that?
Pro debut.
Mm-hmm.
It felt good, just the atmosphere, and that compared to the amateurs, it just felt more of an energy wave, hearing the crowd and the music and walking in, and they said all my credentials at the beginning, that. It felt amazing just to hear that. So I felt pumped. I was ready, and then once that first knockdown came in the first round, I was just this is fun.
That shit was dirty as fuck. I remember watching. So you hit it was a right straight, the left hook to the top, right?
Yeah.
And you dropped his ass with it.
Yeah.
And I respected that guy. I'm not trying to shit on him, but you rocked his fucking shit.
Yep.
And I was like, God, man. And I looked at Zach when we left, and I was like, dude, he's got to teach me how to do that shit. That was cool. I can't move like that at all, but that was tight. And so, did you want to finish that in the first round, or were you just like, man, let me just stay composed. Let me, I don't want the jitters to get to me of, the adrenaline and all that.
Yeah, I didn't want to get, tired. I didn't want to outburn myself. I've seen after that knockdown, I seen his eyes, and he was still composed. It was like a flash knockdown,
Yeah.
But then I knocked him down again in the same round, and I was like, you know what, he's kind of hurt. So second round, I just kind of just started like landing heavier shots.
Yeah.
And then I think at the end of the second round, I had him rocked, and then that's when the bell rang. I could have finished him, but the bell rang, got saved by the bell. And then third round, I was like, all right, I'm going out there. I'm gonna just end it.
Yeah, when you had him up against the ropes, man. Like, we have pictures in their live photos, so you can kind of play them like a video.
Yeah.
And you just see his head getting smacked around, and it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. I hit him like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 shots, just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I was like, I told Zach, like, after, it's like, because you saw all this sweat breaking off his head, I was like, why is he so fucking wet? Like, where's he keeps finding all this at, man? But it was a great performance. So, I mean, something we kind of talked about, though, with where your career is going. So there's talks going on right now, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
so what's those talks that are going on right now with what?
Like with my career.
Yeah.
All right, so I need a couple more fights just to get like on my record, and then I have this. They have these small titles coming, region and Texas titles.
Yeah.
Come my way, and after that, they have we have a connect for Golden Boy, and we're looking to get a deal with them. So once that happens, then the sky's the limit from there.
For sure.
Yeah, man, Golden Boy's going to be a big deal. That's pretty big.
Yes, sir.
That's De La Hoya's promotion, right?
Yeah.
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 That's cool as hell. But speaking of titles, we were talking earlier a little bit about your teammate, Ivan Vasquez.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be fighting for the title on the same night as your next fight, which is going to be September 18th.
Yes, sir. Main event.
Man, he's fun to watch too, man.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
He's lanky. He's long.
He's long. He's pretty strong. And body shots, I felt some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your next fight coming up, after where you're gonna go 3-0. So where's this fight gonna be at?
It's gonna be in Galveston Convention Center again.
Mm-hmm. Back right there
Yes,
again.
sir. Ticketer Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
I like that venue.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a nice venue. I really like the promoters right there too. They put together a real good show.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? So what's gonna be the date for that fight?
The date is September 18.
Mm-hmm.
Should be on a
Saturday. Yeah.
If y'all want to buy tickets, you can go to his Instagram, which is He Dreams Boxing. The link's still in your bio.
Yes, in my bio. Yeah.
There you go.
And
Buy
I
your
posted
tickets
on
there.
Facebook too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so does El Tigre do that as well? You pick the fighter that you're going
Yeah.
to see. And
Yeah.
so so be sure to pick Carlos Nava as well.
Yes, sir.
And so do you know who you're fighting yet?
There's a couple of options we have. It should be they're gonna be a little bit easier than Guido,
Yeah.
but these next 2 fights should be just to keep it going, stay
Mhm.
active, and then I think after that I want to do my first title shot, so it's gonna be like I'm gonna make it a little level up. I want to pick someone in the at least top 50, top 80 rankings. Right now I'm at 190 out of 300 or something in my second fight, so
Mhm.
there's not much I can like level up by then.
Right.
But after fighting Guido, I kind of leveled up. Like I passed a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm at like half or less than half. So, I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah. And so with those rankings, are those like Texas regional rankings, like Southwest rankings, or are those?
No,
like,
it's all USA.
it's all US. Okay, it's all in the US rankings. That's cool as shit.
Yeah. Really aiming to be like in the top 25 by the end of the year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, man, we'll definitely be watching every fucking fight. But yeah.
Let's go.
I'm ready for September 18th. I got off. I got off. I'm just waiting for it.
It's actually my dad's
I'm
birthday
excited
too.
to go.
Really?
And so yeah, I'll probably tell him to come out and
Hell yeah.
what's it called to get him the ticket to come by and shit. And so yeah, man. So also Zach's been telling me a little bit. You've been doing a little bit of music lately. You've been working with a producer.
Yeah, I've been doing music. I like
Mhm.
music, just different frequencies, and it's a little different type of art from fighting,
Right.
and it's kind of soothing.
For sure. And so what kind of music are you kind of looking to make?
I like rap. I like rock.
Mhm.
I like that rap rock mixing in like that new generation.
Yeah.
Like kind of like what's his name? The one that was that blonde guy. The one that was talking shit to Eminem.
Oh,
MGK?
MGK?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like his music. I like that.
He's a big fight fan.
I like
Really?
MGK.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at the last pay-per-view. Dude's looking wild right now. He grew his hair out and he like straightens it.
Yeah.
And he just wears it in his face.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I'm actually a pretty big MGK fan too. Do you like his new music?
I like his new music.
I like it too. I was surprised. It's more like early 2000s punk rock or something, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's working with like Travis Barker and stuff on that stuff too. So I think it's really cool. That he did that movie The Dirt. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't
It's
seen
a Motley Crue movie. It's a movie about the band Motley Crue and he plays Tommy Lee, who was the drummer, and he ends up meeting Tommy Lee and stuff, and he kind of found the inspiration for that. And so, but yeah, it's cool that he kind of switched up genres, and he was like, no, this rock music's a lot of fun, because he was strictly rap, and then you would see him wearing tall tees and shit, and yeah, he went in and he made the punk rock album. I think he's made 2, right?
I don't know. I know he's got the one, I don't even remember what the song's name is, but I know that my wife really likes it.
Yeah.
I like it too. I'm not like trashing on. I like it too.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Girlfriend or something. I don't know, but it's really good. So that's cool though. Do you like use him as an inspiration, or you just kind of doing your own thing?
Yeah, I use them as an inspiration. I use a couple other artists as inspirations.
Who else?
Like Trippie Redd.
I like Trippie Redd.
Just some new generation like Lil Uzi. I kind of like going back to like Meek Mill and like just that dream chasing, J. Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Very gritty, straight like bars type shit.
Yeah, I like something that will like kind of connect to like my boxing lifestyle.
Yeah. Have you listened to Isaiah Rashad's new album?
Who's?
Isaiah Rashad.
No, I haven't heard it.
He has this song with Lil Uzi on it. Lil Uzi, he hasn't came out with new music in a while,
Mm.
but he's been on a lot of features, and
Yeah.
he's really good on these features. He did a song with Tyler, the Creator, called Juggernaut. The song's cool as shit too. But yeah, he's on this feature with Isaiah Rashad, and it's a good song. Like I've listened to it like every fucking day. Honestly, like, I really like Isaiah Rashad, but he switched up his sound. Because he works with like Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q and all them, and then he's completely switched up his sound. And in a little bit with this album, it's more like kind of hyped up type shit, like a lot of stuff that a lot of other rappers are doing nowadays.
Get lit.
Yeah.
Type music. Pump.
You like Joji?
Joji. I haven't heard of Joji.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He has a song called with Trippie Redd. I can't remember what
Which
it's
one
called.
Is it 18?
Nah.
No, he's Young Brian on that one, or Rich Brian.
Rich
that's his
Brian.
name. Yeah.
But he's pretty good. I can't believe I heard of Joji.
I haven't. Need to.
But yeah, he's pretty fun to listen to. Well, I don't know if fun's always the right word. A lot of his music's kind of sad, or at least it sounds very sad, but I like it. Man, what else you like to do with your free time? You don't have a lot of free time. All I ever see you doing is training.
Yeah, I'm always training. Just being out in nature, like being out there and just going to the beach, going for runs at the beach or meditating. I like meditating a lot.
Yeah.
That brings your mind just to a focus, clears it with a brain fog. Journaling. I'm really into writing my own books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to I want to motivate the next generations and just create something where they can read and go off of to give them a little push,
Have you ever thought about doing seminars?
I thought about that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
kind of want to. I also want to do my own YouTube documentary where people can go and just see what I'm going through and just see an idea of what they need to do to kind of elevate.
Yeah. And that'd be real cool for since you're in Pasadena. A lot of people in Pasadena could benefit from that. A lot of kids in Pasadena or cities like Pasadena. That'd be really cool. I would do.
Conor McGregor actually did that. He actually made his documentary Notorious. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
It pretty much starts he no one knew he was making that shit until he came out with it when he was gonna fight Floyd Mayweather, and he came out with it after the fight came out. But he kind of knew where his career was going, and he was like, I need to documentate this shit. And he had a camera guy just follow him around and just kind of talk about little bits and pieces of what's going on. I think he started doing it I think right when he's gonna be fighting Chad Mendes. Just when he we're right before that fight, he's doing it and just followed him around because he knew that there was big things coming, and it was just nuts.
Shoot, I knew there were big things before that, man.
Yeah, he was.
The second he came into the UFC, his fight against Marcus Brimage, that dude, his boxing, Conor's boxing is so good.
Yeah.
For MMA, I mean, shoot, he went into boxing and then boxed Floyd Mayweather. He at least held his own against Floyd Mayweather for a little bit. But yeah, in his very first fight, you see him fighting this guy Marcus Brimage, and Marcus Brimage has got like big explosive power. And at the time, like everybody was expecting him to do like great things. And Conor McGregor's this like skinny Irish dude that nobody really knew about.
Yeah.
But when he's standing in this like karate stance, and I'm watching him kind of go in and out on Marcus, and I'm like, man, he's like trying to pick him apart, but Marcus isn't really letting him do that. And Marcus keeps ducking down for these level changes, like faking for a takedown. And then he would like do it and then come at a different angle with another strike, like a left hook or something. But then I noticed that Conor switched his stance up, and he's southpaw, so he's standing southpaw, and he brings his left hand a little lower and holds it down like this, like an uppercut. And I'm like, oh, he's going to wait for that level change. And the second Marcus actually goes in with it, he's going to knock him out. And yeah, sure enough, he fires it off like a piston. Caught him with it, and he rocked him, and then he just fires off like 3 or 4 more and knocked him out. But it was so fast.
Yeah.
He landed that combination like fucking 3 times too.
Yeah.
Like in a row. Just kept spamming it. It was dirty.
But
and so what's it called? This is like off topic of the fighting, but kind of on topic, I guess, with you. But like I told Zach, because what's it called? When you came out, like, you're super excited. I don't know, what song did you come out to in your first fight?
Moneybag Yo, Rookie of the Year.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I heard that shit. I was like, oh fuck, and so I thought that was super cool. And I told him, I was like, let's see what's up. And then when you came out, and I was like, I didn't know he had this much energy. Like, I was like, he was super quiet when he came on the show the first time.
Yeah, I'm a really quiet person, out here, and I'm like really out, just calm and peace. But like once like that barrier breaks or someone breaks it, I just something different.
Time for war. Yeah,
time for war. And just pumped up and just a different animal when I'm in that ring.
Yeah,
you're in your own element.
Yeah,
you get to show like who you are whenever you're boxing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so like I've noticed that before, because when you were nice enough to give me a shirt for your fight, and I talked to you a little bit. I'm like, you're still just as quiet, and I didn't know it's like if you were just shy or if that's just who you are. Some people are just naturally introverted, and that's okay. So there's all types of people who are like that. And so what's it called? I told Zach, I guess he just doesn't talk. Like,
I think I'm an introvert, but I'm kind of breaking that. I'm just trying to be more social and stuff.
And it takes time, man. I mean, you're 23. I mean, I'm only 2 years older than you. Shit, I'm still learning a lot too. And so it just takes time to get used to talking to people and stuff. And I told Zach, I was like, bro, we might need to tell him bring a friend on or something so he can talk a little more. And so, are you the quiet one out of your friends?
No, I'm actually around my friends. I'm like the pumped, like energetic one. So when I'm comfortable around people, I'm just outgoing,
Yeah.
When I don't know people, I'm like, all right, I'm like, more defensive, and like I'm in my bubble.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I got you. And fucking, so where you get your haircuts at? You always walk around with a fresh ass cut, like.
Sometimes I come on here. Like,
no shit.
Yeah, I save money, just fame myself up real quick.
I would fuck my shit up if I did that, dude.
But nah, I usually go to like my main barber I used to go to since freshman, 9th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah.
His name's Jacob. He has a little shop in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good. I like going to him.
When you would you say? Because I mean, one day it's gonna happen. You're gonna be doing press events.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be doing where you got all the flashes and the paparazzi, and everybody's gonna be there. It's gonna be you one day. You worried about that at all?
No, I'm not worried about it. Actually, I think that would give me more light to actually let me tell what I want to tell.
Yeah.
Speak on things that are not spoken about and show light on things that need to be shined on.
Like what?
It's just like, of course, like small things like Black Lives Matter. I have a lot of friends that are black, and I really want to shine that light on them because there's still like racism, and I don't like that. I think everybody should be equal. We all believe like we're all, you know, we're all equal, and on top of that, there's a lot of that indigenous people that are kind of like people are taking them out, and I think that needs some light on. There's a lot of people talking about that, and I want to be one of those people.
There you go.
Is there ever racism in boxing?
I would
Like
say so,
yeah.
yeah. And then they always like try to make Hispanics versus blacks, and you know that's
Really?
kind of just to bring the fight, you know, and
Yeah.
sell tickets.
Was that a thing with like Pacquiao and Mayweather?
Yeah, I think it was. And
Yeah?
Yeah, Mayweather really like. I think he kind of outdid it in some of his, you know, coming out, you know, with the Mexican shorts and all that. He was kind of like doing it dirty, but you know that's what you do to make sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly off topic, but you know Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And he just lost his last fight against Cyril Gane, the French fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Cyril Gane came out to Still Tipping, and everybody was cheering, thinking it was Derek. And when Cyril Gane came out, everybody started booing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I thought at first I was like, oh, that's cool. He came out to Still Tipping. I didn't know he was doing it to mess with people though.
Trying to throw shots at him.
Yeah.
He came
So
out-
it just made me think of like you were saying with Mayweather wearing the Mexican shorts.
I thought it was cool though. He was at the Galleria and shit, chilling because they do a vlog for the fight weeks and stuff. And he was at the press conference. He's wearing a DJ Screw shirt, and I thought that was cool that he was doing that and shit. And what was I gonna tell you, dude, or ask you or talk about? It's like I told Zach, is like next time there's a big fight, we thought about hitting you up to come by and watch it with us. Just so it's like the other thing is that we don't ever want you to come by and watch an MMA fight and it's a boring card.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple like that have been really really slow, and it's like, man, dude, like it's a good thing we didn't hit up Carlos for this one.
That Derek Lewis one, actually, the prelims were fantastic. Every fight leading up to the main card was a finish, I think, except for like one. Not that it has to be a finish to be a fantastic fight, but you know it's exciting. But the one that went to decision, I think, was very exciting. And then on the main card, the actual pay-per-view, there was like one fun fight, and I was like, "Dang, man! I just spent $60 to watch some people tiptoe around the cage."
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, there were some fun ones. There was one. It was a female fight, Cheyenne Baez. That one was a good fight. And then, heck, the Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane fight, I'm not happy about it right now because Derek Lewis, Houston. But Cyril Gane, I'm a big fan of his. I'm sure whenever I go back and watch the fight, I'm going to like watching it because he's going to look really good in it. But for the time being, I'm salty, so can't be happy about it. But, yeah, the other fights, they were a little disappointing. I wouldn't even say, I would say with a lot of them, it wasn't even one guy in there trying to give it his all and the other guy just not doing it. I think they were both just kind of not there. And yeah, it happens. When you get to those higher risk fights, either guys want to lose, so they try to fight the smart fight. But you pay $60, man.
Well, it's like I told him, we the night of your debut, there was a UFC card, and so when your fight ended, we went back to Deer Park and we watched that fight. And I was like, I never thought I'd say this, but those boxing fights were way better than those UFC fights.
Oh yeah, that was like when the UFC card was over, we were actually like still more pumped up from your fight than we were anything that we saw in the
even
MMA
the fights before your fight, they were throwing down.
Yeah,
people were getting down, dude, and I was like, fuck, that's cool. I saw also you're from your last fight against Guido, what's it called, Eugene Hill. He had his retirement fight and shit.
Yeah, I seen him and his pops, right?
Yep. Did Junior end up winning his fight?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. It was a pretty easy fight, I think.
Yeah.
Knocked him out in the first round.
Holy shit.
Sounds easy.
And so I saw one, I don't know what happened with this boxer, I forgot which fight it was. The dude was wearing the Mexican flag shorts though when he was coming out. But one of the dudes, he punched him and he heard a pop and it didn't sound good. And he went back to his corner immediately and was just like kneeled down, and the ref was like, what the fuck? And like nobody's doing anything about it. The ref doesn't give it a count, but I think he fucked his wrist up. Oof. And not the Mexican fighter, but the other one. And you hear like a crack almost, sounds like. I think he broke his wrist. And like he went back, and then the fucking ref was like, "What the fuck?" And they do it to his corner, and everyone's standing around like, and one of the guys I'll sit next to was like, "What the fuck? I've never seen this in boxing before." And the doctor checked on him. He's like, "My wrist and shit," but he kept fighting with it. But he ended up getting TKO'd. But it was an all around pretty fun fight though. Like there was that one fight where that dude. Did you end up watching any of the fights at all? Or yeah. Whenever it was that one, whenever the dude like picked him up.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, it was that fight. Like he, I don't know what he did to his wrist, or I'm not sure if you had heard anything about what happened after.
Yeah, I think those were brothers.
Mm-hmm.
His brother fought first, and then he fought like 2 more after him.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to his wrist though. Probably threw it wrong or landed it wrong.
So what's it called? Have you ever thought about training in like jujitsu or anything like that, just for fun?
It always comes to my mind. I really want to learn the ground game and grappling.
What stops you?
My promising career, dude.
Just the fact that I probably box right now. I probably do this first, and I don't see why I can't do it. You know, at the same time, but I feel like I'm just waiting for like that time to come. You know.
Yeah, right now I would imagine like all of your focus has to be in boxing.
I just plan on giving it my all for like the next maybe 10, 12 years. I want to retire like at 30, 33 at the max, and then after that I don't know what's next.
How many fights are you trying to have? Like rough estimate.
51-0. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's maybe like the 50s, but for sure it depends like how hard fights will be. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much damage to my head, and I really want to come out, just being on my toes and, with a good mind. And I don't plan on stopping at this, whatever this career is, boxing. I want to keep going to different careers and, just building legacy and an empire. And
I know a big thing you talk about doing is charity work. Once you retire from, like, athletics, just combat sports or athletics in general, is that something you'd want to do? Would you ever want to open up your own charity organization?
For sure, I would definitely open up a boxing gym, and on top of that, I really want to scout out people, like, because there's a lot of athletes, that just have so much talent and they have no money behind them, and I really want to like be able to, like, all right, I want to pick some fighters and bring them up, because I have that right now, but if I would have had that a long time ago, I probably would have been where I want to be already. And
I feel like that's something that should be done in almost all sports, because I feel like we talk about it with MMA, The Ultimate Fighter, the show where people go on there and fight for a contract for the UFC. It's not what it used to be. And I think the reason that it's not what it used to be is because they get people who are already established and they're not hungry. They don't need it.
What are you talking about?
The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have to fight for it because they know they're already going to get it. So when you take these people who are used to fighting for everything that they get, and they have the talent and they have the discipline and the will to learn and do everything the right way, I feel like you create such a much better fighter that way, because they weren't, I don't want to say given things, but they weren't they had to really fight to get those things. They didn't have to just I know I'm this good and I already got sponsors. I already got, the UFC putting me on their show. I'm not worried about it. It's going to happen. But back in the day, these guys, they were we have nothing. I have some sponsors, but they give me free stuff and that's it. They don't really pay me. So I feel like a lot of those guys ended up being great because they never lost that hunger to get better. Yeah. I think that'd be a really cool thing to see.
Yes, sir.
And so, what's that? One of the things the reason why I asked you about jiu-jitsu is when you mentioned meditation, it's because jiu-jitsu translates to the calm art, and so it's very peaceful. When people do it, because you're just kind of it's a flow. It's pretty much it's human chess. That's all it is. It's okay, who can put what where, and if I do this, he's gonna react like this, so I gotta be able to go off his reaction to get this. It's really cool. It's fun.
Do you know how to do it?
A little bit, though, not a lot.
You?
I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna teach me?
Shit, we can.
I'm down.
Right, cool.
You gotta teach us a little bit.
I got y'all on the
fucking bet.
I got y'all.
Yo, what's it called? I was gonna say like when next time we go see our friend Jeremy over at Heritage Muay Thai, if you ever want to come, we have you ever what Muay Thai is?
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, it's like kickboxing and shit like that, and you use your knees and elbows. I think it just if you ever want to try, I don't what's it called? It's just fun to try something new,
Yeah.
It's a good workout. Jeremy's also a personal trainer and stuff like that too, so. He probably be like, okay, bet y'all brought me a guy that's in shape, so I can.
Yeah, he doesn't have to look at us the whole time.
Yeah, I'll definitely be down for that.
And so, what's it called? Yeah, it's jiu-jitsu is just fun, man. Like it's what's it called? But since we started doing that, it's like I've always liked boxing. I've always liked stand up just in general more.
Mm-hmm.
It just it attracts everybody. Everybody always wants to see people on the feet. And so it's like now it's like that's all we kind of like think or talk about is just like when it comes to boxing or talks about Muay Thai and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
one of the fights that happened recently was Vicente Luque and Michael Chiesa. Both guys. Luque's stand up is pretty good. Chiesa's isn't bad, but at the level he's at like top 10 for sure. I don't think he wasn't top 5. He was top 10 though.
He was like top 6.
Yeah. His stand-up's not going to match with those guys, but his ground game is amazing. So his jiu-jitsu is really good, but Luque's Brazilian, and he trains with nothing but top-tier Brazilian grapplers. So when we were talking about the fight before it, we were like, yeah, on the feet, Luque's got the upper hand, obviously, but. Yeah. When he goes to the ground, that's where I'm interested because it's going to happen. It's going to go to the ground at some point. But what ended up happening was Chiesa had the better position. He had the submission attempt for a rear naked choke, and he started losing it, and he kind of started moving. And I won't say it was panic because he's the only one who knows that. But like Devin was saying, it's the calm art because the guy who stays calm the whole time, he's probably going to have the advantage. So with Luque, he was just sitting there waiting for his opportunity, keeping an eye on what Chiesa was doing and where he was moving. And the second Chiesa moved into a bad position, Luque got a hold of his neck and ended up choking him out. It's just like you said, it's a chess game. So it's like. Oh, there's a joke that like when people talk about gyms, you have like boxing gyms where you have these like crazy in shape animals. You have like Muay Thai where it's a bunch of like tall, lean, like psychopaths, and then you have Jiu-Jitsu who's a bunch of fat stoners who lay on the floor all day. And it's just kind of a joke, but it's just part of the way you train Jiu-Jitsu. It's a lot more relaxed, and that's not to say that they don't go hard. Or that they don't like get pushed, but a lot of it, it's a lot more relaxed, more fun to me anyway. Whenever I was doing it, it was just a lot more fun. I have a lot of fun whenever I train Muay Thai at Heritage, but I just was a lot more comfortable with Jiu-Jitsu. My stand-up, I know my stand-up's awkward, so whenever we're doing Muay Thai. It's the one discipline. It's not MMA. It's the one discipline. So I know that a lot of times they're like, yeah, that didn't look good. That looked real sloppy. I'm like, yeah, my bad.
So you train up in the Katy area, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about moving closer to the gym? Once you're able to more establish, like, what's it called, with your finances with boxing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've thought about it. Mm-hmm. It's just that, like, my family are in my area right now, and my mom and dad, so I wouldn't mind making that drive out to a gym and then come back home,
Yeah.
If you could go to any gym, do you have a gym that you could go to?
Honestly, what I learned from my journey is I don't think it's the gym. I think it's more of the fighter and the coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if the fighter ain't playing his 110%, then he's going to be just, average or mediocre. And then if you have a good coach, too, then put those two together. You just need a small gym. You don't got to be so big. You just need y'all two and then a little facility. And
yeah. Is there anybody you'd ever want to learn from just for like a day?
Of course, yeah. Of course, like the top OG legends. Like Pacquiao or like Freddie Roach and just the top.
Yeah.
I want to get like their experience and just put it into like my weaponless, and you know,
Yep.
feel like that would up my game a lot.
Yeah.
You gonna watch the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight?
I think I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
You're gonna watch. That's actually gonna be a good fight. That's the dude he's
I
fighting.
hope it is.
I hope he knocks out Paul.
You hope Tyron Woodley wins?
Yeah, I really want him to win.
Have you ever watched any of his
Nice.
highlights?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker's got power, dude.
Yeah.
What's it called? He's. I think what's his name? Like, I think Jake Paul like probably thought, okay, yeah, I could definitely beat this guy. He's almost 40. It's whatever. But he's an athlete. Like he's really good. And I mean, as the fights gets closer, it's like at first when it happened, I was like, Tyron, he doesn't have the best boxing. Like he's got a ton of power, but he's taking it very, very serious. And it's just, of course, he's gonna come to it really naturally. So,
If you were to make a prediction,
I think Paul's gonna get knocked out.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that's always, whenever we make our predictions, that's always our issue, is we don't know if we want to predict with our heart or our brain.
I get a bunch of shit for predicting my brain. Like, what's that? Whenever we talked about Derek Lewis fight, yeah, I got shit for that because I said Sorgan was gonna win, and I got shit for it.
He's just the better fighter, all around.
Well, I said Dustin Poirier was gonna beat Conor McGregor, and I got shit for that too. People that listen in, they're like, "What the fuck, man? Have fun with it." I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
People have their like opinions. I feel like if it would have gone a distance, I feel like Dustin would have like for sure beat McGregor because he was in his head already, you know. And
Yeah. From the beginning of that fight, like the second that Poirier started fighting back, that was it.
Yeah,
Like he was already winning it.
Mhm.
He was pushing McGregor around. He was elbowing him. He was just piecing him up.
Yeah, once McGregor got that, you know, those big bags that he got, he just wasn't the same. Maybe after this fight, he probably got that little fire back in and like, all right.
I hope so. He's acting like a freaking nut job.
Yeah, he is.
What's your thoughts on him? Have you heard any of his shit talk he said after the fight?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Thought that was disrespectful, but he wants to make that third fight happen, you know?
Yeah.
So
What did you see?
It would be
what
the
he,
fourth fight.
Fourth fight?
Fourth
Oh,
fight.
yeah,
It'll be the
fourth
first
fight.
time in UFC history that there would ever be a fourth fight.
Yeah, he's trying to make that money, you know?
Yeah.
Did you see what he said on Twitter though to
I think
Dustin Poirier? He
yeah.
said he put a picture of his daughter and it said Gonzo and shit like that. And yeah, he said some outlandish shit. Like he's trying hard. So I'm like, damn.
They want to make Dustin Nate Diaz, right?
Mhm.
Fight? Yeah, that'd be a good fight too.
They were supposed to fight a long time ago, and I wish it would have happened then. I'm not as interested in it now as I am, or as I used to be.
Yeah.
Now I want Dustin to fight for the title. That's all.
That's what everybody's doing now. You know, like even in boxing, everybody wants to like just wait until like they get older, you know, and
Yeah.
make the fight happen. They don't want to jeopardize their career, I think, at an early stage.
Because who was that? Because Earl Spence and who was the other guy? Bradley?
Crawford.
Yeah,
Terrence Crawford? Ooh,
Yeah,
Terrence
talk about how
Crawford's a
that
monster.
because even Max Kellerman, because like he says some outlandish shit as well.
Mhm.
But he's a boxing analyst. He's on ESPN. He's always gonna say something weird. But
Yeah.
when it comes to boxing, I feel like Max Kellerman knows his shit because he's followed boxing for years, and
Mhm.
his brother was a pro boxer as well. And what's that? He talks about how that fight should happen 3 years ago. He's like, I feel like that fight's just too late now. Like it doesn't make much sense.
Crawford and Spence?
Mm-hmm. He's like, it's a good fight to make, but that fight
I
should have
think-
happened already.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I still would be excited for that fight.
I still would be excited for that fight.
With Spence's conditions, yeah, I would say I wish it would have happened earlier, but I'd still be excited for it, assuming he can keep coming back.
Yeah.
Because Crawford, I think I'll just always be excited for a Crawford fight. That dude's fun to watch. I used to be real excited for Earl Spence Jr., but this guy was like, whenever I was talking to him about Spence, he was like, nah, do you know Terrence Crawford? And I was like, nah. And he's like, look up Terrence Crawford. And I did, and I was like, okay, I'm sold.
He's crafty. He's really like different.
That dude's nuts, man.
That's what Max. Do you know who Max Kellerman's brother was? Sam Kellerman.
No.
He was a pro boxer as well, and he is. Do you know what's that guy's name? Something Butler. James Butler. Do you know who James Butler was?
I think I've heard of him.
He was that guy that sucker punched that dude after the decision, after the fight. Did you ever see that clip?
I think I have.
He was like the dude like did something. He took off his gloves and he punched that dude cold in the face after they.
Oh.
Yeah, he served 4 years on Rikers Island for that shit. Yeah. You know what Rikers Island is?
No,
It's
that?
state penitentiary up in fucking New Jersey.
For
It's
real?
like on an island, yeah. Because it's assault, like it's. And whenever like you're a pro fighter or a pro boxer, like the court, they'll look at you like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
like
you got
know.
weapons. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn.
But he killed him and shit because I think he went to Sam's house and asked him for some money or some shit, and he stabbed him to death or something.
What the hell?
And so yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, do you ever care to be a shit talker? Whenever, what's it called? Whenever to the fight to your opponents, or you're just like, nah, I gotta be respectful.
Nah, I mean, I'm more of a humble fighter, but
Yeah.
if someone talks shit to me, I'm gonna talk shit back.
Yeah.
Like I'm just you shooting shots at me, I'm gonna shoot shots at you. But if someone like puts their hand on me, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna for sure put my hands on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Are you a good shit talker?
I think I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get in somebody's head, I think. But if someone like touches my belt,
Mhm.
then I think like that's like crossing the line. Like when you people like be like this, touching their belt, like
Mm-hmm.
that's disrespectful, I think. And
What's a good line? Give us a good line.
Cap on me real quick. Talk some shit.
I'd probably go like McGregor style, talk about their girl, just get in their head. That would just for sure start the fight, just get it going.
What kind of I mean, we all know, but just to lay it out, what kind of advantages does that give you when you get in someone's head?
I feel like they're distracted and they're not focused on their first game plan. So like they just kind of
They just want to get you knocked out.
yeah, they just want to come knock you out, and then it opens up opportunities because once they do that, they come straight in and they're open and then easy knockout. I think.
You think Mayweather did that a lot?
For sure, he did that a lot. Yeah, he was good at it too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
What I hate is that he was so good at it, but he didn't even have to be near you to do it. He could just be at home, record a video, and he's doing it. And I'm like, dude,
Or who's
just
that one?
chill for a second.
Phil LaGreco tried to do it to Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Amir Khan knocked him out in like 40 seconds. It's like damn.
You never want to be that guy.
Because he went deep. He started talking about his wife and shit.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, we're gonna be closing this one up pretty soon. So you got a fight September 18th. You're gonna go big 3-0.
Yes, sir. That's what should be a knockout.
We got Ivan Vasquez. He's gonna be headlining that card for the title. What's his record?
Yeah, he's 6-0 right now, so
6-0.
should make him 7-0.
7-0. Anyone else we should look out for on that card?
I know that guy Oscar Perez is gonna be on there again.
Yeah.
Carmen Vargas, that girl.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be it's her second fight, and I think after this she's gonna sign with I don't know if it was Top Rank or somebody, but she was gonna do a contract with somebody.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And nobody wants to fight her down here, so just
Yeah.
from that. I mean, that's all I like would like. Oh, and then you got 713 boxing gym. You got Joseph Rivera, and then you got I think Jesse Gonzalez.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all happening in Galveston. Like we said, go to Carlos's Facebook page, Carlos Nava, or his Instagram, He Dreams Boxing, and go to his bio, and he'll have the link there to buy the tickets. Definitely worth going to watch. Like we were saying, we've been very happy every time we've gone. So watch the legend in the making, Carlos Nava.
Yes, sir.
Any more plugs you want to throw in there?
No, I think that's pretty much it for today.
All right, man. We'll catch it next time.